The thing that I love about the Wise Guys teams is that you guys have a knack for finding the most passionate founders. They know what they're doing, they believe in what they're doing, and nothing is going to stop them.
It is really intense, I have to say, but I really enjoy it because I feel every day I'm totally evolving in this program, and I see that I have so many weapons already.
It's challenging at times. We come with a strong background of doing a lot of things at once, but it's just amazing to be next to the teams, showing all the creativity you can to help them. So it's not something you have to deliver, it's very creative work, and that's what I'm very surprised that I really like it.
I think the best of the people part always. You already know everything, but here the borders are infinite, just so much things to learn.
One of them is the passion, and the other one is how much we care about each other. Among everything, we are a team that really likes to spend time with each other, and part of that is because we all share the mission.
Because I always had a feeling that this is the family that I have.
This is not a job, this is what we love to do. I think when you can mix that one, it's great. We just have to sometimes understand that, hey, there is more people around us, that we have to put some time for them.
For us, it was mainly like a crash course startup MBA, basically, kind of. It's kind of like a bottle of good wine, kind of that keeps getting better all the time.
I mean, Wise Guys team is what keeps me energized through everyday life. When I started working with the startup scene, Wise Guys was my kind of entryway, so I feel like it's a family. I'm like an adopted startup Wise girl.
I just remember one scene from the Tech Chill 2 months ago when you had the demo day with Swedbank. Nearly all the startups were nearly crying when they said goodbye to the mentors. They can really feel the energy, and I think culture beats everything. And I also see Wise Guys as an execution machine.
Yeah, and people ask that why do you do that? There is no money, and very many accelerators have failed after a year or two. I believe that if you really want to do it, if it's your vision, and then you just can't give up, and you will figure it out how it works.
And you have to pitch at the big stage, right?
Yes. My hands are already shaking.
It's too easy for us because this whole month startup Wise Guys, every day we preaching. It's easy for us.
Now we are only going up, and only the sky is the limit.
This is love for what we do at the end of the day, and this is our life that we want to have.
I already know that when it's over, then I'm gonna cry.
3 minutes of station, now back to work.
And we are live. Welcome everyone. I see a lot of people joining us on many different platforms, so super happy to see you here. It's me, Louise. I will be the host of today, and I will be the one taking care of all your incoming questions and make sure that these two beautiful people here will answer them and will let you know everything you want to know. So a round of intros. Let's start with Fabi. Who are you? Why are you here? And what can you tell the startups?
Hi, my name is Fabienne. I'm the upcoming MD for the SaaS Bilbao program. We're currently scouting at the moment, so very excited to receive all your applications. I'm very happy to be here and to share all the information on the upcoming program.
Thank you. Daria.
Hello, everybody. Expecting a lot of questions today. I'm Daria, and I'm a scouting manager for the startup Wise Guys. I have been with the company for 4 years now. I spent 2 years actually running the programs. And now for the past 2 years, I've been in scouting. This means I know this journey of the startup from the moment they apply all the way until they graduate. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat.
Yes, exactly. And that's a very good cue. So wherever you are watching, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, we see you. We see that you are there. Please use the comment section of the live stream to put your questions there. They will come our way, and I will make sure that we cover them. So don't hesitate and ask whatever is in your mind. But so let's start with the most important things that no one should miss it if they're interested to apply. Fabi, so can you walk us through the most important dates that everyone should know? What is the application deadline, when the program is starting, and that part?
Yes, so the program runs from October 17th all the way to mid-March 2023. So it's between 5 to 6 month program. We're taking in applications now, and the deadline for applications is the 3rd of October. Is that right, Daria?
Yes.
Yes. So they are the key dates for you to note down.
Yeah, and
the earlier you apply, the better.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to say exactly the thing. So even though it's middle of August and you might be crawling out of your vacations and everything, you don't have to wait till the deadline to apply. And we will explain you why. And the sooner you do it, the better. And you can actually start conversations both with Daria and Fabi during the application process. So please do apply, especially if this Q&A convinces you. The program itself, what is it? Maybe a quick summary, Fabi, from you. Who is this program for, and what do startups kind of get, the big package? What do they get if they get selected? So the program and the investment deal. Could you cover that?
Sure, yes. So the program is targeted at early stage B2B startups with some sort of initial traction, a solid team, and some sort of working product. We do have a focus in this program for Industry 4.0. However, we are open to all SaaS, B2B SaaS companies. So shall I move on to talking about the program, what the startups get, what's involved?
Yeah, a quick summary.
Great. Okay, so of course there's the investment. So there's potential for up to 200,000 euro convertible investment. 30K of that would go towards the program itself, but we'll talk a bit more about that later on. The participation, of course, in the intensive accelerator program, which starts October 17th. And through that, you'll have access to top industry experts and a network of over 350 mentors, over 200 investors, and over 600 alumni members, which is an incredible community, which I think we'll speak a bit more about in a bit as well. And you'll also have access to an incredible co-working space in Bilbao.
Amazing. I think the community part is something, the number just keeps on growing, and you barely can keep track of it, but it's a great community. And yes, we will talk about it a bit later. So this is the package that you get. So the program and the investment deal. But to get there, you actually have to apply, fill in some forms, and talk with our team. So Daria, could you walk us through the scouting process, the application process from the startup side, how it looks and what startups can expect throughout this journey?
Definitely. So as Fabienne already mentioned, don't wait until the last moment to apply. Do it as soon as possible. And the reason for it is that the process of selection for us is it's not long, but it takes some time, because obviously we are an investor. We do several due diligence steps. And as there is a certain number of people working on selecting startups, that means that their agendas can get full quite fast, depending on where we are in the scouting process. So the sooner you apply, the sooner you start conversations with us, the sooner we can actually select you, start already the paperwork and everything. And also as an additional bonus, you start getting some sort of a feedback from us as well. Because every time you have a conversation with someone, the person probably will tell you what they are thinking based on their previous experience or whatever is your case. Selection process usually looks in a way that you apply. We have a dedicated CRM system where startups apply. You fill in all the questions about your startup. Don't try to sound as you're writing a PhD thesis. Just tell us how the things are, what you do, how you do, what is your goal, and why you decided to build such business. All the questions are there. Please dedicate some time to properly fill in the application. The more information you provide, it is easier for us to decide. And also it is a huge plus for you because we see that you're actually interested. And as an additional bonus to that, if you ever decide to get some investment from angels or other organizations, a lot of them using the same platform, it will be much easier for you to apply later to other things. For instance, even Startup Visa in Estonia uses the same platform. So it is worth the time investment. After you have applied, our team is evaluating application. We might ask you some questions that we still might have. After the step, if you are eligible for this program, I will mention in a bit what is the eligibility criteria. If you are eligible for the program, you get invited to the pitch day. The pitch day is our internal event. This is where we invite weekly up to 10 startups. You see some scouting people, you see Fabienne always there, so the batch team is there. You present your business, basically classical 3-minute pitch with slides, and then the jury is asking you questions and we evaluate startups and make the next steps. If we proceed with your application, this means you will have to do a round of due diligence calls. First of them is going to be a tech call, as we are investing into the scalable technical solutions together with a good team that is doing it. We obviously have to check that everything is well, that everything works, that your software is actually doing what you're claiming it is doing, and that it is ready for scale. Because within the acceleration program, we accelerate sales. The moment you start onboarding those hundreds of of customers, we need to make sure that your software will handle that. The next step is going to be a conversation with the managing director. So you will have in-depth conversation with Fabienne. She is usually checking the business stuff and also your fit for the program. And after that, we might decide to have another call for you. It can be some sort of expert call if we need an additional view on your business. After all of this, if we decide again to proceed with your application, we invite you to the final selection process. And for us, it is the selection bootcamp. It is a one-day event. It is a full-day event, pretty intense. You will have at first product demo. We will have a bunch of people from Startup Wise Guys, our partners, external people sometimes joining it. You present the product. Then we ask you some questions based on what you have showed us. And the second part of the event are one-on-ones. This is basically where you have conversation with every single person who participates. And this takes usually the full day. We start around 10 in the morning and we finish around 5, 6. It depends on the number of teams. We never go over 10 because otherwise it's going to be a much longer event and it's very hard for the jury as well to actually focus on every single person. Within the selection process, we have planned 4 selection bootcamps. That means that out of everyone who applies, only up to 40 teams get to that final step. And out of those 40, we will select up to 12. Full disclaimer, we have had already 1 selection bootcamp. We have 3 left. The next one is in 2 weeks and it's almost full. That means that if you apply now, most likely you will be able to join last 2. That means out of the 40 that we're going to have, there's already only 20 spots left. Not creating FOMO, just being honest with you. So this is also a second point why you should apply as soon as possible, because we will have more time for you and you will have more chances of getting into the program. And the eligibility criteria that I mentioned before, we are leading B2B Accelerator. That means we work with B2B startups. The whole program is designed to accelerate sales for B2B startups. That means that unfortunately we don't work with B2C startups, as the program is fully focused on B2B sales. Then you need to have at least 2 co-founders in a team, because doing business is hard, doing business alone and going through very intense acceleration program that lasts 5 months is pretty hard. So this is why we require you to have at least 2 co-founders. In case you are a solo founder and it is in your plans to have a co-founder in the future, you are still welcome to apply. But please be mindful that this is going to be a question from us, that you need to have a co-founder, and sometimes we do accept startups with a solo founder, but a great team behind him, helping him run the business. But then one of your KPIs for the program is going to be to find a co-founder. Then you need to have working product. As I mentioned, accelerate sales. You have to have a product that you are going to sell to your customers. And initial traction, it ideally is MRR, so recurring revenues, but it can be some sort of partnership, pilot, proof of concept, something that is more or less tangible, that is happening. It's not that it is a soft commitment that we will probably have some sort of pilot with you within the next 12 to 18 months. So if you're running the partnership pilots, if you are actually talking to your customers and you're already getting some sort of a feedback, feel free to apply and we will be more than happy to talk to you. For those who are not at that stage that I just mentioned, but you're still a B2B, you can still apply. There is some time until October for you to get some traction if it's in your plans and your product is there. But at the same time, we as Wise Guys, we run Pre-Accelerator, which is equity-free program with pre-recorded content and some sessions with actual people. So we have webinars, we have Q&As, we have peer-to-peer sessions. So if we see that there is still some improvements to do to get into the full-time accelerator, we can offer you to join Pre-Accelerator. And as I saw the question in the chat, if you are in our Pre-Accelerator, you don't have to reapply. You can if you want to, but we actually know that you're there. We have the same CRM system. We know who you are. You are on our radar. And usually we check the progress of the startups and we check your progress during the graduation day. If you worked hard and you were invited to join the graduation day, usually scouting team is there. And these are also there. We ask you questions and we make a decision in the background what we should do with you. Are you ready to join full-time acceleration selection process, or you need to still work and improve, get some traction? So answer is no, you don't have to reapply. We see you.
Thank you. I like how I'm already just clicking the buttons. You know how to answer the questions. Thank you. So I hope this answers this question. And this is a reminder also to anyone watching, be it LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. We see your incoming questions, so please drop them in the comments, and we will take care of them. So while we are on the criteria part, another question about. So this is a SaaS batch. But there's a bit of a underlying thought about Industry 4.0 focus. So maybe, Fabi, you could cover this part a little bit, why it's there, what's the focus, and how maybe also Bilbao plugs into this. Oh, you are muted. Maybe I can unmute you. I did. No, yeah, we work together with unmuting you.
Great. So in the Bilbao region, there's a very strong industrial market in that region in Europe. So that's why we have a focus on Industry 4.0. What that means, it's quite a large umbrella, quite a wide umbrella. It covers a lot of different verticals there. You can look at those in more depth on our website. So all information will be there. Yes. I think it's
there's a
posted
link
somewhere.
there. Yes, in our stream.
Exactly. So yes, we do have an industry so we do have a focus in Industry 4.0. However, the applications are open to all B2B SaaS startups.
And on this, we actually, so it ties a bit together with the geography, and we had a question from Alex about, are there any restrictions or obligations regarding geography of where the company should be incorporated? So do they have to register in Bilbao or not? And maybe you can cover this setup a little bit more, Fabi.
So yes, so no restrictions on geographies of where we accept startups from. However, if you do join the program and you register in the Basque, you have a chance of receiving co-funding along with the funding that you'll receive from Startup Wise Guys. So that's quite a bonus in that sense.
Extra money, so why not make it work? So yeah, hopefully this covers it. And as Fabi mentioned, no matter where are you from, even if you are from Latin America, you are more than welcome to apply. Especially if you are maybe from Latin America, you're more than welcome to apply. And actually, a fun thing from one of the previous batches, we actually had startups who were still based in Latin America while taking our program. So they were pushing it through and waking up in the middle of night and joining our workshops, but they made it and they did it. So if you're thinking that might be holding you back, it's not going to hold you back. You can make it happen. So don't hesitate, and please do apply. So I see more questions coming in. Awesome. Let's jump on some of them before we dive deeper a bit into the program itself and its content part. So we have a question from Ruxandra. I'm sorry if I pronounced someone's name incorrectly. Question about the next SaaS programs. So reminder, before Daria takes it, you can still apply to this program till October 3rd. Don't wait till that date, but you can still apply, and you can, maybe if you're too early, we might invite you to Pre-Accelerator. And if we see that there's potential, you can already start working with us. But yeah, maybe some words from you, Daria, on the next programs and some plans in the future.
Sure, you covered it very well. If you know that you are too early, for instance, you're still finalizing your MVP, or you're just at idea, then yes, you can wait a bit and not apply now. Wait for the next program. Next program is actually supposed to start in terms of the scouting processes in September. This is going to be the next SaaS program, fully focused on SaaS, so it's going to be pretty broad. But if you have working product, you're already talking to customers, I suggest you apply now, because we work in a way that if we see it is a little bit too early for you, we still keep you in our database, and then we reach out to you when we open the next program that is suitable for you and offering you to apply there. Or, as Louisa mentioned, we can see that we can still help you. There is potential, and we invite you to the Pre-Accelerator. Whilst you're waiting for the next program, you're already receiving some knowledge, which is completely free for you. It just takes some hours during the week. And then if you decide that you're still interested in full-time accelerator and we see that you have progressed, then we talk to you and ask you to apply, or just forward your application to a dedicated scouting person who is in charge of the specific scouting process. So answering the question, if you are at the stage that you think you can actually get into this program, then please apply now. If you are sure you don't want to get into this program, then keep an eye around September on our communications, and we're going to open applications during that time.
Yep, for sure. And on this note, a small detour away from SaaS is also a question about Cyber Accelerator, because yes, we do, as you also heard, this program is a bit of a vertical focus with Industry 4.0 there. So this question about Cyber Accelerator, Daria, do you know anything? Any rumors we can share?
Well, actually, within the scope of this program, there is also a cybersecurity aspect. As we're going to work with Industry 4.0, that means that all the cybersecurity systems created for IoT is also within our scope. So if you are doing something in that field, feel free to apply. We will be more than happy to talk to you. If you are not in a scope, so you're doing something else within the cybersecurity vertical, then unfortunately you will have to wait around for quite some time. We do not have confirmed dates yet, but my assumption is that we're going to have scouting open end of the year, beginning of the next year. I would lean towards the next year already.
Thank you. So hope this clarifies it. Anyways, cyber as well works for this batch, so please do apply. And unless if it's not the match yet, maybe Pre-Accelerator or something, we will find a place for you. So let's dive deeper a little bit in the program itself. So one part, as you've already covered this, so there's the investment part, and especially if you also register your company there, you get extra investment, so a lot of good things. But then there's the program part, which is actually, in my opinion, the most valuable part. So maybe, Fabi, you could walk us through how the program is looking like. What's some content parts? What are we covering there? Touch upon maybe also the online on-site part. So what's the setup there? And walk us through the program.
Sure. Okay, so I'll start off by saying that it is a hybrid program. So we will meet approximately 3 times during the length of the program, for a couple of weeks at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. So the in-person time is really invaluable. So we're trying to get as much of us together with the teams. You'll get to speak to other teams who are part of the network, meet mentors in person, and of course get to know the Wise Guys team as well. So that's really great. In terms of the program, I can describe it as being split into 4 main pillars. So you have company building, sales and marketing, fundraising, and pitching. So I'm going to dive a bit deeper into each of these. So within company building, it covers everything from company operations, startup financials, company cultures, planning, communications, leadership, negotiations. Really, it's very broad. So we cover this. Then on to sales and marketing. That includes everything from introduction to sales, sales strategy, content marketing, outbound lead generation. That's also very broad as well. Then we have pitching. So we do the basics of pitching, of course. We build very strong pitch scripts, and we do everything from pitch delivery, whether it's on stage, online, so that you're really ready to deliver a very strong investor pitch and sales pitches as well. And then fundraising. Again, all the basics of fundraising, understanding investor management, understanding the funding landscape and ecosystem, who are the players you need to communicate with the most, and everything around post-term sheet and investor management as well. I'll also touch upon aftercare. So once you graduate from the program, as I mentioned, you'll be part of the Wise Guys network, and you'll have access to, our mentors. We'll continuously be able to give you on-demand advice once you've graduated, and we will stay in close contact. So we will be in regular contact with your MD to make sure that you're on the right track and see how we can help you once you've graduated.
Yeah, thank you. I had small Wi-Fi issues, so I was like, I hope everyone hears this. I hope you're still here. Thank you, Fabi, for walking us through that. And I see more questions coming in, so thank you. Please drop them there. I had so what you mentioned, the part of the program. So all the good support and everything, and also the aftercare a little bit. You touched upon that part. Maybe to kind of go into your own experience with the batch and how you see how the startups throughout your batch have grown afterward. Maybe we could go into some of the success stories, case studies of how your teams did before in the previous SaaS Talent program, how you saw the growth and how maybe some of the parts that you had just explained that the program consists of, how they help the startups. Maybe there are some good examples that you can share. And also, this is an invitation to anyone who's listening that you can always reach out to our founders and actually ask them how it has been to participate in the program. So maybe, Fabi, you can give away some names and hopefully they will share some good words about Startup Wise Guys.
Yes, so definitely. So through our website, you can find all these startups that were part of the SaaS Talent program. We had a really, really cool batch. They were extremely diverse in terms of what industries they were in, but they were also quite diverse in what they were focusing on throughout the program. So we had teams who were focusing on fundraising, we had teams who were focusing on sales, and we had teams who were quite early on and they needed to make a lot of improvements on their pitching. And what was amazing is they all grew in these areas in which they were hoping to during the program. So we had teams who got their first, many teams who kicked off their first fundraising round during the batch. We had teams who now are excellent pitchers, really. The before and after is amazing, and they really enjoy pitching right now, which is great. And we have those who were able to really ramp up their traction during the program, be it through our sales workshops or the mentors that they were connected with. They were able to build very strong sales strategy, build their content marketing, and we saw a lot of improvement through that as well. And now, sorry. Yeah. And since graduation, we have monthly updates with them on how they're doing, on their progress, which is really great as well.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that talking about pitching, a small ad break. If you are going to some of the conferences, for example, I think the next one will almost all of your batch is going to be Tech Chill Milano. So that's going to be a great place. Is any chance you are in Milan at the end of September, you can actually go there and meet Fabi, catch her actually before the application deadline. So if you have any questions you are scared to ask in this Q&A, then that's the place. You can hunt Fabi down in Milan, where she will be with the batch, and they will be pitching there, and other of our own portfolio startups will be there, and other Startup Wise Guys team members will be there. So a great chance to catch us, our team and our startups in some of the conferences. The same Startup Day in Estonia at the end of August. And Daria, yes, you will be there
at the Startup Day. Yes. So if you have any questions, find me. I will be wearing red, and I will be during both days of the conference.
Yeah, and I think there's actually for Startup Day at least the online part as well. So if by any chance you cannot make it to Estonia, though summer is a good time when to go to Estonia, you can try the online part and catch our team there. And anyways, you can see if you follow us on our social media, you can see where we are at and when we share of those things often, so you can actually catch our team. And yes, Nasser, I actually wanted to ask your question. You will be in Startup Day, so you can catch Daria, but you had a question about finding a co-founder. So we covered this part a bit about how it is being a solo founder and how hard or easy it is. But maybe you can repeat it a little bit again. And I know that we have had some cases where we actually managed to help to find people, some co-founders. Maybe Daria, you want to cover this question?
I will give it a go. So again, mentioning that we are looking for teams who have at least 2 co-founders or a founder with a good team behind this person. If you are a solo founder within the program, we do not help you find the co-founder. This is not our focus. If it is possible to help you, we do not have any advisors who are looking as far as I know, but you can try. And also we have a vast network. And if we decide to proceed with you, and for instance, you're a solo founder, then we might lend you a hand and actually reach out to our networks and suggest, because I personally don't know anyone, but within our team, we have about 50 people. So maybe there is someone somewhere is interested in doing something that you are doing. So, but also as you're going to be in Startup Day, tech conferences, community events for the startups is also a good way of finding a co-founder. Just go there, talk to people, mention to anyone and everyone that you're looking for a co-founder to join a startup that is doing this and that, and maybe someone at some point will connect you with someone they know. So just do the legwork, talk to people, and tell everyone you're looking for a co-founder.
Yeah, good. Thank you. So let's, reading, pressing buttons, everything doing at the same time, brains going everywhere. Multitasking is not good for you kids. It's not. It's hard. So we had two questions coming in about an investment part. So maybe like we had two of them from Alex and from a startup name I cannot pronounce, Exploria, about investment. But maybe Fabi, you can walk us through again, like, so what is the investment amount, from what it consists, and so yeah, how maybe some of the negotiations, how that plugs in. Maybe you can explain all of that.
Sure. Yes. So it very much depends on the startup. However, what we say is you can get up to 200k euros of convertible investment. 30k of that will go towards the program. So it will be 100k from the Startup Wise Guys side, and then the opportunity to receive the opportunity to receive matching investment based on where you establish the company. So yes, that's basically an overview. You also have the possibility of up to 300k euros follow-on investment once you graduate. So that's something I don't think we've mentioned yet there.
Yeah, but so the convertible investment is part of the negotiations, which you can actually get into if you do press the apply button in the link that you can see in the stream. So what you have to do is go to that website, click the apply button, fill in the form. Then Daria's team will take care of and figure out what else do we want to know from you. You will have calls with Daria and Fabi and everything. And if we like you, get to the pitch day and selection bootcamp, and if you actually get selected, then the negotiations start. And therefore, the sooner you apply, the better, because all of this takes some time. So please don't wait and apply now if you're already interested in our program. I have, again, I like it that there are sometimes questions for me. This is the second time with Q&A and a question that I can answer myself. Thank you, Kaido. And yes, you can watch the stream later as well. So we are currently live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So in all the platforms, the Q&A stays available in the same link where you are watching right now. Probably easier to go to YouTube afterwards because social media, they get... our timelines are quite full, but on YouTube you can find the Q&A about this program, about other programs that we are having. So currently we have, again, like ad break, we have applications open also for SaaS Africa program, for sustainability program, and we have had Q&As about those programs already. So if you want to watch those, you can go to our YouTube channel and find the Q&As there. They are staying live, and you can check things out. And anyways, if you have some other questions that we don't cover during the stream, you can always reach out. Also, us on social, it's me and my team, marketing team on the other end, and we will make sure to get you your answers. So that's on that. On the a bit more on the program. So Fabi, you already mentioned the hybrid part, and that it's both online and on-site. And I think it also goes together with the questions about being solo founder or not. So what is the workload actually during the program? Because why we are emphasizing that it's better that you have a team and someone else working with you. So yeah, what is the expected workload, how much time it takes? Maybe again cover the on-site online part that's split there, so people are certain that they know what's happening.
Sure. Yes. So it is a very intense program. It's approximately 5 months long, and it's hybrid. So we will be meeting about 3 times during the program for a few weeks at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. When I say a few weeks, between 2 to 3 weeks, depending. The intensity of the program varies throughout the 5 months. So there will be some weeks that are very intense where we need you full time, not together, so 1 week here and there. And there will be some weeks that are completely empty, which we call implementation weeks, where you can go away, implement your learnings, and focus on other parts that you'd like to do on your own schedule. It's important for you to know that we will let you know in advance the schedule when we will need you full time, so that you can prepare with your team accordingly. Now, if it's not one of the empty weeks and not one of the many intense, one of the few very intense weeks, in between, it's a moderate workload. In when I say workload, I mean where you're having to actually attend calls or be live with us. And it's usually in the form of workshops in the morning. And then in the second half of the day, you'll have one-on-ones with either myself or mentors, depending on what we're focusing on from the syllabus at the time. So it is intense. We need you to be involved and passionate and excited to take part. However, the intensity does vary throughout the program. So to avoid any burnout, that's for sure.
That's for sure. And also, I think important note on the on-site weeks, why in the past we used to have programs full on 3 months on site. So you had to move there for 3 months. Now you actually have the flexibility to move around, but then also don't think that on-site is something that you would want to skip or something, because then I think the best parts and the mingling with your batch and actually kind of having the family feeling of your batch, that's when it happens. And besides the program itself, we are having some fun. We are arranging some offsite for everyone. You also get to meet extended Wise Guys team, because on daily basis, it's going to be Fabi and the program manager of the team who you get to work with the most, and you get to see all of us a bit less, others of Startup Wise Guys team. But for the offsite, we try to join as we want to meet all of you. And I think this is the part where we can slide a bit more in the community and the aftercare. So ladies, you can join me in, because I could also do a lot of talking on this.
Could I just touch upon one point about
sure.
the program and the time expectation? We do come from a place we understand founders. A lot of us were founders in the past. We understand your schedules are forever changing, and it won't be possible for you to necessarily attend 100% of the program. This is why Daria specified that we do look for companies that have at least 2 co-founders, so that you can balance the work throughout the program. However, if not possible, we like to say that we have an expectation of at least 90% attendance rate between the founders. So I just want to, we don't set unrealistic expectations. We understand the lives of startups and startup founders. So don't be scared of it either.
Do we? That's good. No, yeah, for sure. We are all human, right? At the end of the day. So it's completely understandable. And yes, Daria.
Yeah, but it will not be easy. We'll still push you to we will push you to do things. So don't stop. Fabi is trying to be nice. She's going to be your MD. She's going to support you, but it's still a lot of work. But it is nice to have someone to substitute you if you have very important meetings with your clients. But at the same time, you're going to get a lot of feedback, and having a second head to brainstorm what is relevant, what should be implemented now, what should be stored in your mind for the future. This is also a very valuable thing to have, person to have.
Yeah, for sure. And if in doubt, you can always, as we mentioned, reach out also to our alumni. So we have a community of 600 founders, which is accessible to you as soon as you enter the program and afterwards, and it stays you while the batch is your closest family. Then the alumni community, it's like extended family, long lost cousins who understand your struggles, and they can help you with anything. So even now, like if you're interested in our programs, you can you can reach out to founders and ask how it has been, how they have managed the workload, how they have managed the workshops, the one-on-ones, how they kept track of things, kept track of doing the business and the program itself. And good thing about the alumni community. So yes, after the program, it's also available. So I don't know, if you want to go into a new market, we probably have a startup there who has been doing things there. So you can reach out with questions. You have struggles with marketing or sales or hiring people. You can ask any of those questions, not only to Fabi, who's going to support you also after the program a bit more, not that much, but a little bit. But you have the whole community of people who understand you, and you can use it. Yeah, that part. We have one more. The question from Exploria Startup. I'm not sure that I understand the question. So, but if you are from our Pre-Accelerator program, we can probably chat a bit more and to understand your question fully, what you wanted to know. So we can chat somewhere else. Take this to other channels. Question from Nasser, another question. About traveling costs and accommodation, and is there an investment considered? Something maybe Fabi, you want to cover this question?
So unfortunately not. So you will have to take care of your own travel and accommodation. But when it comes to everything to do with the co-working space, everything else to do with the program, of course, that will be covered.
Yep. Thank you. So I can still do a bit of talking of everything. So if anyone else has a question, I could take one more because we have time, but we need to wrap things up. So while we are filling the space for the one last question coming in, Fabi, will you remind everyone that's watching what is the application deadline and when they need to apply and when the program starts, so they know what are the expectations there?
Yes, so application deadline is October 3rd. However, please apply as soon as possible. I promise you, it's for everyone's benefit for you to apply as soon as possible. You can kick things off early and we can get to know each other as early as possible as well. So that's the application deadline, October 3rd. Apply now. And the program will start 17th of October and it will run until mid-March.
Yeah. So 10th deadline, don't wait till the last day, because you can also understand there are only 2 weeks between the application deadline and the start of the program. So you will have to be very quick on convincing that you are the startup for the program. And so don't wait too long. And good. Well, okay. If there are no other questions, you can see the link where you need to go, startupwiseguys.com/SaaS Bilbao, where you can apply, or just open our website. There's one big red button with apply now. Click that and we will talk with you there. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you ladies for covering the questions, and for the one last question. You made it, Paulo. Okay, we can cover it. And as I said, one more question. If you don't get accepted, will you have access to the completed 8-week course to iron out errors? Yes, Daria, that's your question.
So thank you for the question. If you do not get through the selection process, you do have a chance of getting into the Pre-Accelerator. But Pre-Accelerator at this stage is invitation only. You can apply, but we still do select startups who will get the most out of it. In your case, I can't be super sure because I don't know you, unfortunately, but do apply. If you do not get to the program, the full-time program, you can also tell us that you are really keen on getting into the Pre-Accelerator, and we will consider you. If you have such a passion to join it, at that stage, we will be probably more than happy to grant you this opportunity. But also, if you feel that you are too early, on our webpage, there is a subsection of Pre-Accelerator. There is an apply button, and you can apply there to the Pre-Accelerator directly.
Yes, exactly. And if you are too early and you don't have a co-founder, but you just have an idea, an ad break, there's a program called Jump for CE. This Q&A is full of ads. We are supported by Startup Wise Guys. We have a program called Jump for CE. So if anyone who is like super early and watching this Q&A is thinking, I would love it, but I am not there yet. Actually, yes, find Jump for CE on our website. We have applications open for that program. It's starting in September 13, 15 with idea hacks. So yes, Daria.
I just wanted to mention, we talk so much about the Pre-Accelerator and how we never mentioned how you can get there. As I mentioned, there is an application form as well. And to be selected, you need to still be doing B2B business model, to have B2B business model. And also you need to have at least prototype. So if you are purely at idea stage, apply to Jump for CE. If you have prototype, then you can apply to the Pre-Accelerator directly. And then we invite startups to Pre-Accelerators. Even if you have, for instance, 1K in MRR, we can still invite you there because there is still something to learn. And basically, as Pavlo mentioned, iron out some errors. So get all your ducks in a row, and then with a stronger team, get into the full-time accelerator.
Yeah. So use this opportunity, or use Jump as well. We are accepting applications there. Details can be found on our website. Please do apply and keep in touch. And thank you all for joining. If any other questions or something, reach out to us on our socials, wherever you are watching. And yeah, thank you, ladies, for joining me today and covering the questions. And for the ending, we will show you a small after movie of one of our batches, and you can actually hear from some of the startups who have gone through the program. So what were the best parts? So what we were talking about here, let's make them convince you. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, ladies, and see you next time.
Wise Guys SaaS Milan.
9 startups.
4 countries.
20 founders.
More than 500,000 euros invested.
90 mentors.
140 hours of workshops.
240 office hours.
35 product demos.
The best teams in Europe, and this is the story.
The best thing about Startup Wise Guys were the workshops.
The offsite.
Please, the mentors.
No, seeing the company grow.
The best thing about Startup Wise Guys was being part of a family.
Sharing ideas, thoughts,
being inspired,
and dreaming together.
Yeah!
During the program, all the people I have met, the Startup Wise Guys folks, the mentors, and of course, the alumni I had been a part of had improved me personally and professionally. Getting to know all these amazing people had been an incredible treasure find.
Meeting fellow entrepreneurs and learning about their challenges and stories. And of course, the high quality support of the Startup Wise Guys team, amplified by the level of expertise of the mentors and coaches.
Discover a methodology to scale up our business model and make amazing mentors.
To meet amazing founders and to have the possibility to improve my entrepreneurial skills. I really want that in the next future other founders can have the same opportunity. See you soon.
Pushing. I think pushing is the right word. Because you don't even have time to find a beautiful background for this video. You have a lot of work to do.
Insightful, thought-provoking questions we had to give answers to. Also, a good review of many things awaiting us ahead on our journey.
The incredible network and the support given by the SWG family. An explosive mix to grow fast, international, and be impactful.
That we got to know some best-in-class tools and trained some very important skills in a very, very personalized way.
You will have a lot of sessions with the mentors and coaches. You will meet a lot of friendly people in the Startup Wise Guys team, and you will get new opportunities to grow your startup in Europe.
Wise Guys SaaS Milan. You can't stop us.